I'm sorry for my actions. I have been going through lots of things during that month. Every night I have cried for all the pain I have caused throughout the whole process.
You know what? I've had enough. You cut her throat twice. You stabbed her 8 times. You cold-blooded killer. I've had enough of her bullshit.
He pulled her out of the car and realized that she was still breathing. He got back in the car and ran her over until she looked like spaghetti.
Mozingo, who's facing charges for kidnapping, felonious assault, abduction, and unlawful restraint in Akron, Ohio. 23-year-old Chloe Jones met Mozingo while out on the town in late 2023. When Mozingo offered to drive her home, Jones accepted, but Mozingo had more nefarious plans in mind. Jones was missing for 4 days. That is, until a concerned neighbor made a 911 call.
There's a girl in there. She's very small and slim. My husband said he didn't really get a good look at her. He's yelling at her. Right. Her face is, she can't see out of her eyes.
Okay.
Police were initially skeptical. The neighbors swore a girl was trapped in there. But as it turns out, she wasn't alone.
Come on now with your hands up! Coming?
No.
William, come on out! William, come on now! Akron Police!
Hey!
Face that way!
Just keep coming. Watch your step. Right there. You get that?
There's a female in there. Come on out here.
Okay, what do you need to get down?
No,
There's no one else up there?
Where do you live at, dear? Thompson? How far away is that?
Like 30 minutes, like close to showing.
They caught Mozingo red-handed.
He probably would have probably where's she at? Up there also?
Yeah. Why don't you just sit down there?
Yeah, guys have water.
Oh, we'll get you some stuff here.
Car number 12.
Is there any weapons up there here?
Now with the perpetrator in handcuffs, Jones was finally free. Jones suffered numerous injuries, including a broken skull, brain injuries, a broken finger, and more.
How do you know this girl? I just met her. When? Hell, last night?
That's y'all f***ed up.
Oh, that's how she came.
Days later, Jones told the world what happened to her during those 4 days.
It was terrifying, you know, like being in fear for your life, like countless of times, times I can even count of like how many times he's threatened my life. You can see my face. It's, I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
Mozingo's crimes are detestable, but what's more detestable is that this isn't his first offense.
He has been convicted 3 times for the exact same offenses, and he was allowed to reoffend over and over and over.
This is Mozingo's 4th time holding a woman hostage, and this time he'll pay for it.
I believe consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public and to punish you, and they're not disproportionate to the seriousness of your conduct and to the danger that you pose to the public.
The judge threatened to give him the maximum punishment possible, but before hearing his fate, Mozingo had something to say.
The incident stems whenever we was both fueled up on methamphetamine. So I've had a lot of time to think about it and reflect. And just at this time, I'd just like to apologize to the victim and her family.
Finally, it was time for Mozingo to learn his sentence.
Certainly the conduct here is extreme, and I believe it should be met with extreme punishment. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I'm never going to understand how one human can cause serious harm to another. I'm never going to be able to understand that. The pain and harm that you've caused for this victim is going to never be gone from her. She's got serious and long-lasting consequences from what happened here. And we may never know what was going on in your head or what caused you to do these things, but what I am going to do is follow the recommendations of the attorneys and impose a sentence, whereas you will not be out and able to make these types of decisions again for quite a while. I believe consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public and to punish you, and they're not disproportionate to the seriousness of your conduct and to the danger that you pose to the public. So that comes out to 25 to 31 and a half years.
Mozingo showed no emotion in court for the victim he hurt, but the victim's uncle in our next case made damn sure his niece's killer felt something. This is Alexander Ortiz, who's facing double homicide charges in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ortiz was standing trial for fatally shooting 2 young women, including his 23-year-old ex-girlfriend, Aliana Farfan, back in 2024.
Police say the two were arguing in an Albuquerque apartment when Ortiz reportedly shot her. Then just 6 days later, Ortiz allegedly shot and killed a woman at the Adam Food Market. Police say that's Ortiz in the surveillance video walking up to a car parked outside. You see him approach before. Police say Ortiz fired 3 shots before walking away. Nicole Maldonado was sitting in the back seat of the car and later died.
The hearing was going exactly as planned until this happened. This is Farfan's uncle, Carlos. Then Farfan's stepfather joins the fight. But Ortiz's father in the audience didn't stay still for long. He throws punches at Farfan's uncle. That's when the rest of the family comes running. Ortiz is forgotten. Now it's a full-on brawl between the Farfan family and Ortiz's father. Farfan's uncle lands some direct punches to Ortiz Sr.'s nose. Meanwhile, another family member attacks Ortiz with a metal folding chair. Then the deputy whips out a taser. But if you thought that would stop them, think again. The victim's uncle and stepfather spent a few nights in jail, but were later released without charges. They both suffered injuries from the fight, but said they had no regrets. As for Ortiz, he's still in jail awaiting sentencing. Though courtroom brawls are always shocking, how does it compare to the most high-profile assassination of the decade?
Well, now to the apparent murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City.
Police say gunmen shot Thompson from behind as he came out of a Manhattan hotel this morning.
Like in the case of Luigi Mangione, who's facing murder, terrorism, and stalking charges in New York City. In the early morning of December 4th, 2024, one masked shooter committed an infamous crime. His target was Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, America's largest health insurance company. Thompson was on his way to a work conference, perhaps to discuss his company's year of record-high profits, while also denying a shocking 32% of insurance claims, but he never got the chance. Thompson was shot several times in the back and legs. Once the crime was done, the shooter disappeared into an alleyway. Minutes later, police arrived. They tried to perform CPR, but it was too late. Thompson was transported to a hospital where he later passed away. The head of the largest healthcare corporation in America was now dead, and police turned to finding the suspect.
The shooter appears to be a light-skinned male. He's wearing a light brown or cream colored jacket, a black face mask, black and white sneakers, and a very distinctive gray backpack.
Within days, they found their man, Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old recent college graduate. Mangione was arrested immediately, but he insisted he's innocent.
Luigi, do it. And it's completely out of touch. And it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
In court, Mangione is surrounded by officers, but his answer remains the same.
How do you plead this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
He hasn't identified a motive, but netizens speculate that the shooting may have something to do with a debilitating spine injury that Mangione suffered the year prior. Thompson's death sparked outrage across the nation, but not for the reason you think.
Stop denying! People are dying! Stop denying!
They protested the healthcare industry as a whole and even called Mangione a hero.
General, why is there a correlation with profit and denying people the right to health care in their most vulnerable moments?
The public supports Mangione, but will the judge? Only time will tell. Sources suspect Mangione killed Thompson due to a denied insurance claim. But what possible motive could turn a 12-year-old child into a cold-blooded killer?
Who was it that you didn't there? I don't know. They're going to come and kill me. Yes, I did it. Because I'm fed up with life. Now I'm going to
Like in the case of Jamarian Lawhorn, who's charged with murder in Kentwood, Michigan. 9-year-old Connor Verkerke met 12-year-old Lawhorn on a neighborhood playground one Tuesday afternoon. But little did Connor know that his new playmate had a knife hidden in his pocket. Minutes later, Lawhorn made a 911 call.
I just stabbed someone. You did. Who was it that you didn't stab? I don't know. I'm fed up with life.
He had fatally stabbed Connor in the back, hoping the police would shoot him for his crimes.
They're going to come and kill me. Yes, I did it. Because I'm fed up with life. Now I'm going to die.
Lawson was arrested and charged with murder. During the court process, we learned the true reasons behind his horrible act.
He was beaten with an extension cord so brutally as to leave permanent scarring on his legs.
Lawson lived a life of extreme abuse at the hands of his mother, abuse to such an extent that he wanted to die. After his arrest, however, Lawson seemed to regret his actions.
And I know what I did was wrong. I just do not understand why I did it.
But nothing could undo the life he took.
Connor was my first best friend, and I will miss him forever.
The judge sentenced Lawson to a youth detention facility until he turned 18. Then, depending on his conduct, he could either walk away a free man or face life in prison. In his darkest times, one person supported Lawson through it all, and you'll never guess who it was. Toni Noonmaker, the victim's grandmother, drove over 160 miles to Lawson's facility on a weekly basis to encourage the team.
That's really totally extraordinary.
It goes beyond forgiveness.
Finally, years later, it was Lawson's 18th birthday. Time to learn his final sentence.
I'm extraordinarily proud of Jamarian's progress, and I do feel like he is ready to step into adulthood and be a productive member of society.
Jamarian was released with no further prison time.
What's Jamarian going to be in 10 years?
I mean, I want to help people that's in a situation like what I was in, to honor them. Because there's a lot of people out there that need that help. A lot.
Lawhorn appeared to show genuine remorse for what he'd done. Something that can't be said for our next killer, who didn't just lack remorse, he made sure his victim's family knew it.
Anna Marie's not. It's not gonna go cheap if you didn't cheat first.
Like in the case of Ali Abulaban, who's charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in San Diego, California. During COVID, Abulaban became famous doing Tony Montana impressions on TikTok.
You wanna fuck with me? Okay. God, okay. Okay. I believe with you.
Tony Montana. And you? What you call yourself?
When he wasn't acting, he was showing off his great relationship with his family.
I've never met anyone else like you. And I don't think I ever will. I'm not saying that because it's cliche. I'm saying that because no one's ever moved me the way that you do.
But things aren't always as they seem. In reality, Abulaban was in the middle of a messy divorce, and when his soon-to-be ex-wife, Anna, brought home a male mutual friend, Abulaban snapped. Without Anna's knowledge, he entered the apartment building with a pistol hidden in his jacket. He snuck up to their door, then... The neighbor's Ring camera caught everything. That's right, Abulaban just confessed to murder on the phone with his mother. As if that wasn't enough, he then called the police about the murders and lied.
Your wife was shot in the face, is that what you said? Okay, stand by. Okay, hold her.
He promised to wait for backup, but when police arrived, he was nowhere to be found.
One more. Stand by.
What they saw made their hearts drop.
Okay, sorry, go back. We gotta clear. Oh shit, we got two down. Emergency entry, I need a team. You got three.
Anna and her friend Ray Barron had been shot to death on the couch. Abulaban was later pulled over trying to flee the state. He had his young daughter and the murder weapon in the back seat. In court, Abulaban blamed his actions on drugs.
I was sick, suffering from an untreated severe mental illness that was combined with a crippling drug addiction, which put me in a state of a drug-induced psychosis.
But when Anna's sister confronted him, they got into a screaming match.
What did they do to you? They didn't do anything to you. You know Anna Marie's not gonna go cheat if you didn't cheat first.
But Anna's sister got the last word.
If I had known what my sister had been through with all the abuse, if I had known,
This was his response.
I'm sorry that in that moment I was not mentally strong enough to control myself. I'm sorry that my horrendous action that day resulted in the undeserved deaths of Rayburn Barone and Anna Marie Abulaban.
Abulaban finally showed remorse. But was it all an act?
When we ask who is Ali Abulaban, that's who he is. He's somebody that is only thinking about himself, and the idea of killing two innocent people doesn't disturb him. It's chilling. So the bottom line here is he will die in prison. He will never be a free man. He will take his last breath there.
Eventually, Abulaban did ask for forgiveness. However, the murder committed by this 14-year-old girl was so repulsive, only God could forgive her.
The teen stands accused of second-degree murder for allegedly beating her grandmother to death.
Like in the case of Sofia Koval, who's charged with manslaughter in Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. Koval had recently immigrated from Ukraine to South Florida, where she lived with her father and 78-year-old grandmother. After displaying behavioral issues, her father took away her phone in an attempt to discipline her and left the house. When he returned, he found his elderly mother bruised and beaten on the floor. Yevgenia Koval later died from her injuries. That night, police arrested the teen at the scene of the crime.
The court notes that the child suffers possibly from severe post-traumatic stress.
Her father believes she might have acted out due to both PTSD from the war she witnessed in Ukraine and the separation from her mother. Their neighbor, who knew the family, has a similar theory.
She was jumping up and down. She said, I just wish my mom was here. Just wish my mom was here. I guess she doesn't have papers to get here right now.
In court, Koval's stress was obvious. She openly prayed during trial, hoping for a favorable sentence. This was her reaction to the sentence.
In charge of manslaughter. By agreement, I'm going to impose juvenile sanctions. I'm going to adjudicate Ms. Koval delinquent. I'm going to commit her to a maximum risk program for a period of time not to exceed 36 months.
Koval was sentenced to a maximum security juvenile facility for 3 years. The maximum punishment. She will be under community supervision until 21 years of age.
Sophia's father was devastated in court. He never imagined his daughter could kill. The same could be said for Colt Gray's father, who never imagined the hunting lessons he gave his son would one day be used in a massacre.
A 14-year-old is in custody for today's deadly school shooting in Georgia.
4 people are dead and as many as 9 are wounded.
Like in the case of Colt Gray, who's charged with malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, and cruelty to children. Gray was 13 years old when he first appeared on police's radar.
So we got a tip from the FBI saying that somebody from your old address over there in Traditions had made a threat to shoot up a school.
For real?
Yes, sir. And your name was associated with that address. So we went over to that address, and you weren't living there, so we live here. You have any kids or anything living here?
Yeah, Colt Gray.
Colt?
Yeah, Colt. He's my oldest son.
How old is he?
He's 13.
Does he play a lot of video games and stuff?
Yeah, he does. Play all the time.
Is he here right now?
Yeah.
But you think it's something he might have...
I damn sure want to know.
Can we talk to him?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a good dude. Just
hey, Colt, what's going on, bud? So did your dad kind of explain everything to you?
Said something about shooting up a school.
Did you say something about school shooting?
Never. I just told him. I don't know what. Maybe they misheard somebody else. I would never say that.
You never ever said.
No, I swear.
Do you use Discord?
Discord?
Yes, sir.
They were there to investigate a school shooting threat that Gray made over the popular gaming communication channel Discord. But Gray swore he didn't do it.
Have you heard anybody on Discord when you were using it say something like that? Remember?
Like at that time?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think I ever had anybody that.
Never. And I mean, I'm not trying to get anybody hemmed up, but like, this is some serious stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he knows how serious it is, trust me.
And I promise I would never say something like that.
So you haven't used Discord in a few months,
no,
and you're saying you didn't say anything like that?
No, the only thing I have is TikTok, but I just go around there and watch videos.
The police believed him.
You know, maybe it was something he heard or did on Discord months ago. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
But he's telling me he didn't.
Yeah.
Telling me he can't remember anything like that.
Yeah.
I take you at your word. Okay. If you look me in the eye and you tell me that's what you're telling me, I got no choice but to take you at your word right now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But like I was telling your dad, if we find out otherwise, then it's a different story. Okay. Got any questions?
No, sir.
You have any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
sir.
Y'all be safe.
Good luck to you.
8 months later, that conversation would come back to haunt them.
Colt Gray faces 4 murder charges. He's accused of opening fire inside the school, killing 2 students and 2 teachers.
Hurry up now, come on, let's go.
What the?
We got a whole school to get evacuated, people. Come on now.
Gray, now 14, brought a gun to his high school and fatally shot 2 students and 2 teachers.
Like, he knocked on the door. I went up. I saw him holding a bag and just pulling the gun out. I'm not sure what kind of bag was it, but I seen him pulling it out of a bag, and like, the gun was so big. Like,
unaware of the threat, her teacher told her to let him in, but she hesitated.
if I would have opened the door, then like, he would have got every single one of us in that class. Like, I thank God that I did not open that door.
This classroom was safe, but the nightmare wasn't over. Gray entered the next classroom and opened fire.
Colt shot my teacher multiple times, dragged our teacher's body, and fully into the classroom. We heard him take his last breath.
By the time police arrived, 4 people had died. Gray himself was arrested at the scene. During the investigation, Gray's father barely let him get a word in.
This is some serious stuff.
Yeah, I know. Oh, he knows how serious it is, trust me.
You have weapons in the house?
I do.
Are they accessible to him?
They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded, but they are down. We do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of deer hunting. He shot his first deer this year.
By law, guns must be inaccessible to minors. Gray's father just landed himself in hot water.
I don't know anything about him saying like that, and I'm going to be mad as hell if he did. And then all the guns will go away. Yeah. And they won't be accessible to him. You know, I'm trying to be honest with you. I'm trying to teach him about firearms and safety and how to do it all and get him interested in the outdoors.
Police started investigating Gray's father, too. And at first, everything looked wholesome. Gray's own father gave him hunting lessons.
Son, what a hell of a shot.
Yes, sir. But things took a more sinister turn when they realized that Gray's father gifted Gray, still a minor, his very own gun for Christmas, the same gun he used in the school shooting. Gray's father was arrested alongside his son.
You're charged with 4 counts of felony involuntary manslaughter. You're charged with 8 counts of felony cruelty to children in the 2nd degree.
Neither of their sentences have been released. However, his son has a clear idea of his future.
You are under 18 years old. So I wanted to inform you and make it clear to you that the penalty for the crimes for which you are charged does not include death. It includes life without the possibility of parole or life with the possibility of parole.
Gray's school shooting left a community shattered.
But in this next case, the vicious killer laughs at the family's pain.
Regardless of whether you admit to brutally murdering her, you wouldn't sit at sentencing and laugh about it. Take the defendant back into the courtroom. Or back into the holding cells. I ain't worried about it. Pull his pants up while you're doing it, please.
Like in the case of Alvin Foy, who's charged with 2nd-degree murder, attempted murder, and weapons charges in Albany, New York. On May 3rd, 2021, Foy and his friend Jameer Fanning shot over 40 bullets into the home of the Forney family, who were longtime family friends. He fatally shot 18-year-old China Forney, who was weeks away from graduating high school. In court, Forney's sister tearfully described the pain of their loss, but Foy's reaction will make your blood boil.
Alvin Foy on May 3rd, 2021, you are a co-defendant.
Look closely. Foy is laughing, but the judge takes notice.
Excuse me a second. Let the record reflect that the defendant is laughing during the victim impact statement. Go ahead, ma'am. I apologize.
Despite the warning, Foy's behavior only gets worse.
You came and ate dinner with us. You went out with us multiple times. So we would have expected better from you. And
Forney's sister was disgusted by his behavior.
I just want you to know, like, when you get back to yourself, we want you to think about the pain you caused me and my family and friends.
Then it was Foy's time to speak. And what he says is shocking.
You want to address the court, Mr. Foy?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
6 other witnesses said I wasn't there. We have 2 females said I was there that was on a FaceTime call.
Sir, we're not trying the case. The case has been tried. The jury was convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. Sir, you can't talk at the same time as I talk because the stenographer is going to take down my words. If you want your words recorded, you can't try to talk over me. The jury's already decided that issue, sir.
The judge handled that with professionalism and grace, but he wasn't prepared for this.
Anything else you want to say to the court, sir?
Yeah. You're a biased judge, and I can't wait to appeal and see my case. I'm innocent.
Is that why you were laughing throughout the statements by the sister of... Is that why you were laughing, sir?
She was laughing at me.
Anything else, sir?
Yes.
Go ahead. Finish.
I'm innocent.
You've said that already. Anything else?
Come home. I'm innocent.
But his arguments were futile. His fate was already sealed.
The defendant stands before this court professing his innocence, and regardless of whether you admit to brutally murdering her, you wouldn't sit at sentencing and laugh about it. That's, sir, your time to speak has ended. It's now the court's time to speak. If you can't conduct yourself appropriately, we'll send you back into the jail, and I'll send you without you here.
I was wrongfully convicted.
Take the defendant back into the courtroom. Or back into the holding cells. I ain't worried about it. Pull his pants up while you're doing it, please. So the courtroom doesn't have to observe that in the sense the defendant in his absence. Because he obviously has shown that he cannot conduct himself appropriately.
The judge kicked Foy out of court for his behavior, but that wasn't his only punishment. The judge sentenced Foy to 25 years to life in prison for the murder. As for his accomplice, Jameer Manning, he took a plea deal for 20 years to life. Forney's family is satisfied with the verdict.
Every night when we go to sleep and we think about my niece, I hope he carry that same pain. Every single day of his 20 years to life, he should think about my niece.
A year after her death, the street where Forney was killed was renamed in her honor. Foy laughed at his victim's suffering, and Wade Wilson laughed too, but only when he realized he was being sent to death row.
We, the jury, find by a vote of 9-3 that Wade Wilson should be sentenced to death.
Similar to the case of Wade Wilson, who's charged with double homicide in Cape Coral, Florida. In 2019, Wilson spent the night with bartender Christine Melton. When he woke up, he strangled her in her own bed. After that, he stole Christine's car and drove around until he saw 43-year-old Diane Ruiz walking along a residential road. That's when he did the unthinkable.
He told his dad he then picked up a lady, asked for directions, then choked her and ran her over so many times he made her look like spaghetti.
If you thought that was shocking, watch this footage. Wade, still in Christine's car, pulled into a parking lot hours after both murders, confessed his crimes to the store employee, and waited for police to arrive. Wilson's name and frightening appearance led him to be called the Deadpool murderer. But once he was behind bars, Wilson changed his tune.
Did you kill Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz?
No, absolutely not.
Shockingly, Wilson still believes he's a good person.
I'm not a monster. Yeah, I'm not a saint either. By any means, I've made bad decisions in the past.
The jury, however, thought otherwise.
We, the jury, find by a vote of 9-3 that Wade Wilson should be sentenced to death.
But watch this.
Thank you. Then we'll be adjourned.
Seconds after learning his sentence, Wilson flashes a mysterious hand signal. To this day, no one knows what it meant. Wade Wilson killed 2 women and knew it would send him to death row. But how disturbed do you have to be to not only murder your own children, but believe it would earn you a spot in heaven?
Lori Vallow Daybell, the mother of 2 missing Rexburg children, JJ and Tylee.
Human remains found in Fremont County yesterday are believed to be missing Rexburg children, JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan.
That my children are happy and busy in the spirit world.
Like in the case of Chad Daybell and his wife, Lori Vallow, who were charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy charges in Fremont County, Idaho. In 2019, Lori's 2 children suddenly disappeared. The couple, who held extreme doomsday religious beliefs, seemed strangely unbothered.
Where are your kids? No comment? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say? There's people around the country praying for your children, praying for you guys. Why don't you give us answers?
That's great.
That's great. That's great that they're praying for you, praying for your kids. What?
Instead of helping with the search, Chad and Lori did the complete opposite. They went on vacation to Hawaii. Back in Idaho, police made a grim discovery at the Daybell residence.
Detectives and investigators have recovered what's believed to be human remains that have not been identified at this time.
DNA testing later confirmed that the remains belonged to the 2 children. Their bodies were found burned, dismembered, and buried on Chad Daybell's property. Meanwhile, their parents were tanning poolside on the other side of the ocean.
How's it going? Tanning, Lord?
But their vacation was about to be cut short.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
The couple was arrested in Kauai and extradited to the mainland for trial. In court, Vallow admitted her crimes, but said it was an accident.
Jesus Christ knows that no one was murdered in this case. Accidental deaths happen.
If you thought that was crazy, just listen to what she says next.
My children are happy. He put his arm around me and he said to me, "You didn't do anything wrong, Mom." Tylee came to me and she said to me, "Stop worrying, Mom. We are fine.
She said she knows they're happy because, get this, they appeared to her in her dreams, but her dreams weren't enough to convince the judge.
You justified all of this by going down a bizarre religious rabbit hole, and clearly you are still down there.
This is the moment Lori learned her sentence.
The first-degree murder of Tylee Ryan, you are sentenced to the custody of the State Board of Corrections to serve the maximum allowed sentence of fixed determinate term of life imprisonment with no possibility of parole.
The judge sentenced her to multiple consecutive life terms with no parole. But the case isn't over yet. Now it's time for Chad to learn his sentence.
As to count 1, the conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and grand theft by deception for the murder of Tylee Ryan. Therefore, on count 1, the defendant is sentenced to death.
He just received the death sentence, but that's not all.
On count 2, the first-degree murder of Tylee Ryan, the court therefore, on count 2, sentences the defendant to death.
Lori and Chad's doomsday beliefs led them to murdering their own kids, but Deobra Redden didn't need a belief system. Instead, he attacked it.
Like in the case of Deobra Redden, who's in court for felony assault with a deadly weapon after attacking someone with a baseball bat in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Basically, I would like to tell the courts and everyone here, like, based on my criminal history, like, I feel that, like, I shouldn't be, like, sent to prison for a second time.
Have you looked at your criminal history? Have you looked at your criminal history?
I actually just, I looked at it.
I mean, you lived it, I suppose.
He asked the judge for parole instead of prison time, but with more than 3 felonies, misdemeanors, and multiple domestic violence abuse charges on his record, Judge Holthus wasn't feeling merciful.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history.
Her mind was made up, but Redden was desperate. Redden flew over the podium in rage. He was mad enough to kill, and he certainly tried. Redden strangled the judge, pulled her hair, and beat her with his bare hands. Deputies pulled him off the judge, but Redden would stop at nothing to finish the job. Eventually, backup arrived, but Judge Holthus was in bad shape. Only then did things calm down. But this isn't the last time Redden would see Judge Holthus. He appeared a week later with chains, gloves, and a spit mask for Holthus to finalize his sentence.
For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions.
Judge Holthus personally sentenced Redden to 4 years for his original charge. Later, he would get an extra 26 to 65 years for the attack on Judge Holthus.
You're being charged with count 1, attempt murder, victim 60 years of age or older, a felony. Count 2, battery on a protected person resulting in substantial bodily harm, victim 60 years of age or older, a felony. Count 3, extortion by threat, a felony.
Redden thought nothing of attacking a judge in open court, but our next defendant went after someone far closer to home, her own mother.
As to count 1, we, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment.
Like in the case of Carly Gregg, who's charged with murdering her own mother in Rankin, Mississippi. On March 19th of 2024, 15-year-old Carly Gregg snapped. She walked around her house, searching for her mother with an object hidden behind her back. Moments later, after murdering her mother in cold blood, Carly was surprisingly calm. She purposely hid the gun from the camera while she texted her friends. About 15 minutes later, her second target came home, her stepfather. Unaware of the situation, he walked inside. Carly fired one shot, but missed. And when her stepfather wrestled the gun from her hands, she fled.
When I opened the door to the kitchen there, gun went off in my face.
Fortunately, the bullet grazed Heath's arm, who managed to wrestle the gun away from Carly.
If I leave, who's going to take care of my dogs? So we'll take care of that, okay? You can let them in the kennel. We'll take care of the dogs, okay?
Carly escaped, but was later found by police wandering the neighborhood.
All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to swab your hands, okay? Right. Now, we'll ask you a bunch of questions, but obviously you fired with a pistol, correct? Okay. Which hand did you shoot with? Which hand did you shoot with?
Carly showed no emotion in court.
That when they get inside the house, Ashley then goes into Carly's room. At some point, Ashley finds 4 boxes that contain vape pens. Almost immediately, upon Carly coming inside the house, that she walks straight to her parents' bedroom, that she goes straight to her mom's side of the bed and removes a .357 Magnum from under the mattress, walked in to her own bedroom, and then fired 3 shots into her mother, killing her.
There were 3 victims on March 19th. Ashley Smiley, Heath Smiley, and Carly Gregg. That they were all 3 victims. While the events on March 19th were tragic, the events on March 19th were not intentional.
Until the jury read her sentence.
As to count 1, we, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Count 2, we, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of attempted murder as charged in the indictment.
This is the moment Carly learned her sentence.
As to count 1, we, the jury, sentence the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole. Close quote.
Carly Gregg's murder was caught on camera, and the same could be said for our next defendant, who was recorded stalking and eventually killing his victim.
He showed no mercy on Lincoln when she was begging for her life.
Count 1, malice murder. I'll sentence you to life without the possibility of parole.
Like in the case of Jose Ibarra, who's charged with felony murder, kidnapping with bodily injury, and aggravated assault with intent to rape in Athens, Georgia. Ibarra, an undocumented immigrant with a long history of crime in the U.S., had been peeping through students' bedroom windows at the Augusta University campus for days. But today was different. At almost 7 a.m., Ibarra meandered into the woods between the residences and campus buildings, and he waited. At 9:05 a.m., nursing student Laken Riley began her morning run through campus. Then she turned left onto a path through the woods and was never seen again. 2 hours later, her concerned roommates, familiar with her running route, went looking for her. When they didn't find her, they called the police. But what that officer found would shock the nation.
I found it. Ma'am. Oh. EMS immediately did not breathing.
She had been attacked, asphyxiated, and fatally beaten with Jose Ibarra's DNA under her fingernails. 15 minutes after her death, Ibarra threw a jacket into the dumpster. The jacket contained both his and Riley's blood. Laken's family was already on the way to the university when officers pulled them over. Then they broke the news.
I don't want to tell you yes or no because I don't have names. I don't know who anybody is.
Meanwhile, detectives had tracked down Ibarra, who was, if you can believe it, taking a nap. He tried to feign innocence, but he couldn't hide his own injuries.
What injuries did you observe?
I noticed on his right arm, his bicep, there was a scratch, which I identified as a potential defensive wound. On his left arm, he had a forearm scratch that was very similar, which in my mind, looked like fingernail scratches to me.
Ibarra was arrested, and city residents were out for blood.
I have had 3 students at the University of Georgia. My youngest is a senior now, and I'm just really concerned for her safety. And I've been bothered for a long time, and I see things getting worse and worse.
The immigrant showed no remorse in court, even as Lakin's family mourned.
He ripped away every beautiful memory we will ever be able to make with her again. Your Honor, I'm asking you to please give Jose Ibarra the same thing he gave us when he made the choice to take Lakin's life and destroy ours. He showed no mercy on Lakin when she was begging for her life.
This is the moment Ibarra learned his sentence.
Count 1, malice murder. I sentence you to life without the possibility of parole.
Ibarra was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Jose Ibarra stalked and killed his victim, but our next defendant used deception instead of violence until every lie she told collapsed in court.
Pocketbook, I'm muting you for... All right, I'm going to count that.
I'm not doing it.
Like in the case of Amanda Stiles, who's in the middle of a custody battle in Dallas, Texas. Right now, her ex-husband, Ryan Parnell, has custody of their children, and Stiles isn't too happy about it.
Okay, what can I do to help you all today?
Yes, sir. Get us off of your docket is what you could do. Go ahead, Lacey. Start talking.
That's pretty specific. Ms. Kimball?
Stiles wants custody back, but Lacey Kimball, representing Parnell, has some steep conditions.
The evaluation was completed, and so we have filed a motion for drug screening and a motion for a psychological exam based upon that custody evaluation recommendation.
The judge didn't notice her actions, but don't worry, Stiles does something even worse.
Blah, 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 blah.
Stop talking. You'll be able to respond in just a second. Ms. Kimball, you can go ahead and finish, and then Ms. Stiles, you'll have an opportunity to respond in just a minute.
This judge has the patience of a saint, but the next time Stiles got snarky, he wasn't so lenient.
I'm pretty low-key. We're in court.
Fed up with Miss Kimball.
You need to be respectful.
I'm
So
fed up
you can
Kimball.
just, if you're going to use my last name, that's fine. Just say Judge Tenig. Okay, it's pretty easy.
The judge circled back to the drug test issue, and things didn't look so good for Stiles.
The drug screening part, do you have an objection to taking a drug test?
I'm not going to pay for it because I'll tell you up front I'll file for marijuana.
When was the last
But
time?
I'm happy to take it
Hold
on
When was the last
expense.
time you took marijuana?
I use marijuana daily, all day, every day, and it's legal.
She may be rude, but at least she's honest.
You use marijuana all day, every day?
Not really day every day, but I use it daily, if that helps you with your interpretations. Mr. Low-Key Honorable Judge Tenig.
I'm not interpreting. I just said what you said.
Again, the judge let her comments roll off his back, but how much is too much?
When are you going to view my videos?
Ma'am, you need to answer my question.
I answered your goddamn question.
All right.
That was the judge's last straw.
I'm going to sanction you $100 for every time that you swear in court, because that's not appropriate. You just need to not do it. You can answer the question and be respectful to Ms. Kimball and to the court.
The judge muted her, and obviously she doesn't take it well.
What dates?
Ms. Kimball, do you have proposed dates?
I can. I would propose.
And whose expense? Mine? Because if it's mine, I'm not fucking doing it. Sanction, give me $100 fee. Woo,
Okay,
woo.
well, I am finding you in direct contempt.
Okay, one fine.
Finding you $100.
Okay, make it 2. Damn, I said 2 words.
Ma'am, I don't think you want to do this.
If you thought a $200 fine would convince her to be quiet, you're wrong.
What time, dumbass? 3 contempts.
You're correct. That is 3.
3 strikes, you're out.
You don't get to do this for your own pocketbook. I'm muting you for, all right, I'm going to count that as another violation.
After that, Stiles leaves the meeting completely.
For the deposition, she didn't have any objection. I'm going to note for my own record that she opted out after flipping me off.
For the first time since the call began, the session was finally productive. That is, until she found another way to disrupt proceedings.
Mr. Parnell?
Yes, sir. Sorry, my phone's blowing up. She's texting in group text again. This happens quite frequently with her.
It's fine.
Apologize.
I was going to ask if she was participating by text.
Stiles' behavior made the judge understand just how rough married life must have been for Parnell.
Based upon my experience with the case, it's not fair to Mr. Parnell to have to pay those costs. So I'm granting that completely as well.
He waived the test fees for Parnell, wished him luck, and ended the call. If you thought Amanda Stiles' courtroom antics were dumb, wait until you see the defendant facing a suspended license charge who showed up to court driving.
Are you driving?
Just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended, and he was just driving. He didn't have a license.
Like in the case of Corey Harris, who's in court fighting a suspended license in Michigan.
Calls case, People versus Corey Harris.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present via Zoom.
Harris just joined a Zoom call where his lawyer will fight for his license to be reinstated. There's just one problem.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Harris is behind the wheel.
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
Hey.
The judge is dumbfounded, but Harris doesn't seem to realize his mistake.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
It takes a minute for Harris to catch on, but once he does, his reaction is priceless.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. And he didn't have a license.
There's nothing he can say to fix the situation, and he knows it.
As with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
This trial was over even before it began.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Harris's simple mistake cost him dearly, but nothing compares to the heinous actions of this preteen.
I hope and pray you did not do this, because this is horrific. This is a human being, and she deserves justice.
Like in the case of Jesse Stone, who's charged with burglary and sexual battery in Marion County, Florida. On June 9th, 2024, deputies received a 911 call from an elderly woman. Something horrible had happened.
Okay. I'm up here in Reddick. I'm at a house. A 91-year-old lady calls in saying she was just. We get on scene. She's beat up really bad.
The woman was home alone when the incident occurred.
She saw a shadow approaching her, and all of a sudden he just started wailing on her. She's significantly injured in her face and got a big gash on her arm. She's 91 years old. So she says that the guy sounded Hispanic and he was telling her to be still and treated her with his fingers. She said he never took off his pants and it lasted about 15-20 minutes, and he left about 5 to 10 minutes prior to us going 9-7.
The DNA evidence